Hi, and welcome to episode number 14 of the Jefferson Award-winning Get Involved Pittsburgh here on PCTV21 and 47. My name's Tom Baker, and I am proud to be your host of this television show. I always enjoy putting it together. We've got a great cast here for you on episode number 14. It's getting towards the end of the year now, and hopefully a lot of you watching this at home or online are setting some goals for 2013. I'm a big believer in goal setting. Every year on the first day of the year, I always like to sit down with a pen and paper and come up with at least 25 goals. 5 goals are related to my work at Big Brothers Big Sisters, 5 are related to my work with Get Involved, 5 are related to my political life, serving on the school board, all those kind of good things. 5 are related to my civic life, all the organizations, the mentoring, the good things I get to do in the community. And the final 5 are related to my fitness life. When I got ready for my goals on January 1st, 2011, I was weighing in at 249 pounds, which is a lot of lbs, that's a lot of pounds, and wasn't happy about it. So I set a goal to lose weight in 2011, and I'm very happy that through working hard, eating better, working out more, I'm now 70 pounds lighter. So when you're sitting there thinking about your goals for 2013, dream big a little bit. Make sure that you put things out there that you want to get done, that you can get done through your personal life, through your civic life, through your professional life, but also think about your fitness goals too. What's something different that you could do in 2013 to help yourself, help your community, and help your career move forward? All right, welcome back. We're here with our second guest on episode number 14 of Get Involved Pittsburgh. Zboyovsky is here with us, the borough manager of Brentwood. George, how's it going?
Pretty good, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Sure thing. So we became friends back in 2004. We did the Coro running for public office. It was called ELPA back then, Emerging Leaders,
yeah.
Public Affairs. So became friends through that. It's been nice to see you do well in your career. Yeah. I think you were an engineer back then, actually. And
correct,
decided
right.
To kind of make, we talked with Doug about this, making kind of a life change to follow your passion, and you did a little bit of that as well. Tell us about your career switch that you did years back now.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of it. What got me, I guess, interested in local government or politics was getting involved.
Yeah.
After graduating from Penn State engineering degree, moved back to Menneson. I got asked if I'd be interested to come on this board, the Menneson Recreation Authority. Mm-hmm. I'm like, sure, recreation, baseball, basketball.
Yeah, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, cool.
Now with Amy Poehler, she made it all, we know now, we understand Parks and Rec. But
some similarities, but not too much. But anyway, so I got involved on that board, and then, I got to know some of the people in the town. They learned I was a civil engineer. They went, hey, would you be interested in serving on our zoning board? Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So absolutely. I got appointed to that board. And then this redevelopment authority, got appointed to that. Now I'm getting more and more involved in the operations of local government. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Things are happening.
Yeah.
And then someone came up and said, hey, would you be interested in running for city council?
In Menneson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was 25,
right.
At the time, and I'm involved with all these organizations. I was like, sure, why not? So, gave it a shot. Had my kitchen cabinet of, friends, knucklehead friends, and we didn't know the first thing about super voter lists or that there was even such a list out there.
Right.
But we did the door-to-door thing, things commonly, that you hear of, politicians doing. Did the hand-painted signs, and they look like little rascals, vote for George. But there was a race of 6 candidates for 2 open seats, and I came in 3rd. Mm-hmm. So after that, I'm like, I'm going to learn more about the process. I'd like to, understand, the whole, how to run for office and so forth. Mm-hmm. So I was looking for...
You got to fail forward sometimes, too. I mean, the first time I ran in 05, I lost kind of badly, but then you run again. And so for you, your second time around, how'd it go?
Pretty good. Liked the ticket.
There you go.
And came in, did a couple other different things. Got that voters list out.
Got the voter list, that's good.
Yeah, that saved us on time going door to door and so forth. And I had the opportunity to serve 7 years before I relocated out of the Pittsburgh area.
Okay.
Still in the engineering profession.
Right, you were still in engineering then. What, a member of council, I mean, we know a little bit here in the region about what city council does, but there's a lot more to Allegheny County than just the city of Pittsburgh. So what is something that a local council member would work on? What are some of the projects? What are the things you voted on? What were the big issues for you in your 7 years as a council member?
Oh yeah, sure. It's, and Menneson is a, small mill town in the Mon Valley. Population, like, a lot of areas, they're just, migrating out. So, our goals were to, how to keep the people, in the area, how to develop the downtown, bring businesses in, while, during my tenure, that Keystone Opportunity Zone became, a law. And we had an area in Menneson, so, that helped bring in some businesses. And we have this school, Douglas School of Business. You may know Tom Savini, makeup artist.
Right, yeah.
Rent out of that. So we're, trying to develop a niche. And, like you, I'm all about goal planning, strategic planning. And, here I come in with my MBA and all these ideas. Of, I remember the first time I passed out a survey to my colleagues, a SWOT analysis, a couple just turned back. This is a waste of time. And so, I mean.
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, right? That's the SWOT.
Yeah,
okay, very good.
Yeah. And, I was like 27 at the time when I got elected, and I think the next youngest council member was like in his 50s. So, and then after that, it like jumped up into the 70s. So, that, different generational, gaps was a challenge to overcome. And
it's interesting when you are the youngest person in the room. We talk about that within Get Involved a lot of times too, just being the youngest person in the room. What are some things that you did, George, as a 27-year-old council member, being the youngest person, to really make yourself stand out so that other people knew to take you seriously?
One thing, back then, being one of the youngest members, I knew that we need to get younger people needed a voice. So I initiated a junior council program for Menneson with the school district.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah, and I still had a passion with the, the Recreation Authority. That's what got my start. So I thought, more, better communication with the school district was important because, the school district in any community is the biggest taxing, authority. So those were some of the items. I looked at operational efficiencies, and I don't want to not that I'm Al Gore or anything, but we didn't have email in Menneson until I came on board.
Okay.
And I'm working in Pittsburgh, and it was just hard to communicate, and that was a challenge, believe it or not, to get that up and running.
Getting things up and running.
Just on that item, these generational gaps. A senior member of the council sent a memo out saying, no employee shall send emails.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow,
that
wasn't that long ago.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you transitioned. So you were still an engineer at that time. You were serving on council, and then you decided to go into borough management, and you're now the borough manager of Brentwood.
Yes.
What led you to kind of going after that lifestyle?
Well, after 7 years working in government part-time, working 50 some hours as an engineer, and then doing the evenings city council work, got to work closely with our borough manager of the city of Menneson, and just the things that he was involved with, and then working with me on a part-time basis. I'm like, what? That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
That's cool.
So when I graduated from GSBIA in Public and International Affairs, and the CAT school, and with an engineering degree, I'm thinking, who's not going to hire me?
Right.
But it was a challenge getting my foot in the door.
Sure. What's something that all of us here in the city of Pittsburgh should know about Brentwood that we don't know?
Oh, Brentwood, I tell you what, it's, you hear best kept secrets, but Brentwood is the best kept secret in the South Hills.
Okay.
I was, working in Dormont at the time, living in Mount Lebanon, and we were looking for homes in the Mount Lebanon area. And just out of the blue, my wife had a dentist appointment in Brentwood, and I started looking at the architecture. You see the people walking up and down the streets, the hanging baskets. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. So we looked at some of the prices, and it's unbelievable. For the amount of home you get and the price, it was like, the deal of the century. So now, since I've came on board now, we're working, times are tough, communities are strapped, but Brentwood's growing.
That's great.
We have a $8 million park project, renovation project that's underway right now. That's going to include a state-of-the-art deck hockey rink, 2 new basketball courts, 2 new baseball fields. Brentwood Borough is unusual. We own the actual stadium. So we're renovating the stadium, putting in synthetic turf and a 400-meter track.
Wow, a lot of things going on in Brentwood.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
And we're looking at a new borough building, a new public works facility, and the borough building also houses EMS and the police department and so forth.
Great. All right, well, congrats on all of your success. Thanks for coming on the show here.
Yeah,
we definitely
thanks for
appreciate
having
the
me
time.
again.
And what's the best way for viewers watching at home? How can they keep in touch, and how can they learn more about Brentwood?
Our webpage, it's under renovations right now, but it's www.brentwoodborough, and borough is BORO.com.
Okay, no UGH.
There's a couple other false sites out there that seem to be like
so Brentwood Borough, BORO. Okay,
yes.
very good. Okay, great. Well, thanks, George. It was nice seeing you. Yeah, thanks very much for being on the show. Our next guest on the show will be Liz Kennan from Kennan Insurance. She's also about to be the new co-host of Morning Mix with Get Involved, so we'll be back in just a minute with Liz Kennan.